and welcome. I am Anna Wesley, a member of the board at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Ruston. Whether you are on Zoom or here in the church sanctuary, we are so glad you are here with us this morning, no matter how old or how young you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, however you identify, and whomever you love, know you are welcome here. We are thrilled to welcome back the women's vocal ensemble, Bella Voce, directed by our musical director, Cynthia Young. Bella Voce has sung for us at least once a year for the last 5 years, and we are delighted to have them here again. Bella Voce has recently returned from an international competition in Prague, where they earned a silver medal, congratulations, in the chamber choir category. Thank you so much for being here today to share your beautiful music with us. We are also welcoming back pianist Gianne Zhu, who is accompanying our service this morning for the second time. Gianne, we so appreciate your presence here this morning and your beautiful piano artistry. Gianne will also be playing for us next Sunday at our in-gathering service. Thank you for being here. I have several announcements to share with you this morning. On Sunday, 25th, we'll be holding our in-gathering water ceremony. Please bring a small sample of water from your summer travels or activities to add to our collective water. We are looking forward to the start of the new church year. All families with children in preschool through 12th grade and everyone interested in helping in our programs for children and teens are asked to attend lunch, a meeting, and a training after the service on August 25th. RSVP at the link on the flyers in the foyer and in the e-newsletter. Contact Linda Weaver for more information. Fairfax County has asked Cornerstones to support their plans to provide safe, temporary overnight shelters, TOS, for unhoused Reston residents. Cornerstone has asked its community partners to provide TOS guests with hot meals for dinner each night and a variety of sandwiches, snacks, and drinks for bagged lunches. The Social Action Committee has committed to providing bagged lunches on the 25th of August and a later date. We are seeking a half dozen volunteers to form an assembly line in the UU Reston kitchen next Sunday, beginning at 2 p.m. Please see Greg Rata if you are willing to join this team. The next issue of the UUCR Connection, our e-blast newsletter, is scheduled for the 26th of August. If you have any news that you wish to share, that you wish to be shared in that edition, please send it to the UUCR office manager on or before the 20th of August. Also, Linda Holloway would like to remind everyone that in order for us to have a good social atmosphere at the end of the service, we'd like the last 4 rows of chairs to be stacked in order for us to be able to move the tables in. So if you can pitch in and help after the service, it would be much appreciated. Thank you. All right. Now, let's center ourselves for worship. Please take some deep, quieting breaths with me. Let us enter our time of worship together as we enjoy this morning's prelude.
upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly above the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? Why can't
Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church in Reston. I'm Reverend Aileen Fitzke, and it is my honor to serve this congregation as its minister. Our opening words this morning are from The Edge of the Sea by Rachel Carson. The edge of the sea is a strange and beautiful place. All through the long history of Earth, it has been an area of unrest where waves have broken heavily on the land, where the tides have pressed forward over continents, receded, and then returned. For no two successive days is the shoreline precisely the same. Not only do the tides advance and retreat in their eternal rhythms, but the level of the sea is never at rest. It rises or falls as the glaciers melt or grow, as the floor of the deep ocean basins shift under its increasing load of sediments, or as the Earth's crust along the continental margins warps up or down in adjustment to strain and tension. Today, a little more land may belong to the sea. Tomorrow, a little less. Always the edge of the sea remains an elusive and indefinable boundary.
Our opening hymn today is number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth. So please rise in body and or spirit and join us.
Oh
A Chalice Lighting for Liminal Times by Summer Abayati. In betwixt and in between, we move in the liminal spaces that show shades of what can become, what can be. We light this chalice as a symbol of courage to move into that time of this and that, and not this and not that, with patience and faith and love and hope that this time will pass, like the sun that moves in between rising and setting, reminding us that beauty resounds in betwixt and in between. And I'm too short to talk and light at the same time, so I have to do it afterwards.
Here at UUCR, we have a beloved tradition of singing our covenant together every Sunday morning. Love is the spirit of this church. So we will remain seated as we sing our covenant together. And if you are here today for the first time, we hope you will accept this song as our blessing to you.
Good morning. Now is the time for all ages, and today we are doing a backpack blessing. Students, learners, and anyone who is beginning a new endeavor of any kind, I invite you to come forward and bring your backpacks or bags, or you can keep them near you. And imaginary backpacks are welcome too. Welcome. Good to see everyone. As school and new classes begin, as church activities start here, we are on the edge of something new and different. I wonder, how many of you are feeling excited about it? Go ahead and raise your hands if so. I see some like this. I wonder how many people are feeling nervous or even a little scared. I see a teacher, see a number of people, and I also see this. Some of us feel both excited and nervous when we start something new, and that's normal. It's exciting because we have a new adventure to look forward to, and at the same time, we have to learn new names, maybe get to know a new building, and we're definitely going to try new things that we won't do perfectly the very first time. After a while, we'll learn the names and the classrooms. We will erase errors and begin again and again. But each time we learn something new, there's a new edge, new mistakes, and new chances to begin again. So, as you begin your new year or your new endeavor, we, your church family, would like to give you a gift and our wishes and blessings to remind you that we are here. No matter how great the fear or how difficult the path, there is a way. There is hope, and help is available. So congregation and everyone here, let's fill all those backpacks with love and care to carry wherever they go. And if you're here with a backpack and you're in front, if you'll stand up and line up and hold up your backpack. And if you're out here, raise up your hands and imagine all your care and acceptance in you pouring out onto our children, teens, and adults who are beginning something new. Students and learners, open your backpacks, real or imaginary, and hold them up high so you can catch all that love. And everyone feel that love.
We take great joy this Sunday in blessing these backpacks and bags and the people who will carry them as they begin a new year. Students and all learners, may you be animated by both joy and purpose. Each day, may you discover something new and exciting about yourself and the world that we share. As Unitarian Universalists, may you always be open and eager to new horizons of learning. And may you always generously share what you have with those around you, even if it's just an eraser. May you remember the power of love and treat everyone around you with kindness, consideration, and respect. May you know that you are holy and loved just as you are. You are not alone. Love holds you and all that you love. So, blessings on all of you.
And we have a gift to help remind you that you carry the love and blessings of UUCR congregation. We'll give them to you now if you came forward. If you haven't come forward or you're at home, you can pick them up after the service or make arrangements to get them later. And after you have your tag, we'll be singing you out to religious education, or you can return to your seat. Sing the children out to religious education with the words, "Go with joy," which are in your order of service and should be projected here.
Now is the time in our service when we share our joys and concerns, so no one has to hold them alone. If you are joining us remotely this morning, you may wish to light a real or virtual candle, wherever you are, to mark what is in your heart. As members of the in-person congregation, place stones in the water here in the sanctuary. If those of you at home would like to share what is in your heart today in the congregational chat on the screen, please share, write to all attendees, and remember what you write will be public. Those at home may then read others' joys and concerns shared in the chat and enter into your own time of reflection and prayer. As we listen to Gianne play our meditation music, I invite those in the congregation to come forward and place your stones. one in prayer and meditation. Spirit of life and love that so faithfully animates our creation, we are grateful for this community that is with us in times of both joy and sorrow. We hold in our hearts this morning all who are facing any hardship or difficulty, those who are grieving or facing illness or disability in themselves, their friends, or their loved ones. In particular this morning, where's Linda Holloway? Oh, there's Linda Holloway. Linda Holloway, please stand up, if you would like. This morning, we are going to sing happy birthday to Linda Holloway because it's her 85th birthday. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Linda. Happy birthday to you. And we light this candle for Linda, which she can blow out afterward. Let us take a moment of silence.
Offering. As a self-funded church, UUCR relies on the generosity of its members and friends to fund daily operations and to ensure that the church and its resources are here for us and others now and in the future. Pledge supports our worship and music programs, our religious education program, programs for members and friends, community outreach, and connections to Unitarian Universalism. We now invite you to support the work of UU Reston by making your donation to the collection plate if you are here in the sanctuary or at the link on the slide and in the chat box if you're home. Thank you for your generosity and support of our beloved spiritual home.
As Bella Voce gets ready to sing the offertory for you, I just wanted to briefly talk about the song. This is one of our favorite pieces. It's called Spes, which means hope in Latin. The text is a mix of biblical Latin taken from Ecclesiastes and a poem written in the Sami language, which is spoken in Lapland. The Ecclesiastes text reads, "It is not in our power to stop the wind or to know the resolution of things." And the Sami poem says, "I belong to the wind, but I live." Maybe that is the meaning of life. So we hope you enjoy Spes.
Et quid solutionem non est in nominis potestate dominari super spiritum, nec colibere spiritum, nec habet potestatem supra diem mortis, supra diem mortis, supra diem mortis, mortis,
When my children were little, we lived along the Southern California coast. We would look forward to tide pool days. In the winter, don't think cold and snowy, think 75 degrees and sunny. Especially during January and February, there would be these ultra low tides that didn't happen at any other time during the year. And so there would be this vast spread of tide pools at one of our favorite beaches. My friend Cynthia would call up and say, "It's a -2 tide." She was our tide checker. In those days, there was a phone tree of moms, and whoever could make it would show up at the tide pools. All these creatures would be present to us that we would not see otherwise. These beautiful black brittle stars that look kind of like giant spiders, all manner of anemones and sea cucumbers and other things I still can't identify. We would spend hours just observing, leaving the creatures alone, mostly, but just having the opportunity to observe. One day, one of the children picked up an empty glass bottle floating in one of the tide pools, thinking they had best clean up, and a small octopus slid out. Little gifts like this were common as we found the strange and unusual creatures living in the tide pools. The life there is so extraordinary, and more so because this area was underwater most of the time. It was only visible to us at these very rare low tides. In our opening reading from Rachel Carson's Edge of the Sea, she wrote, "The edge of the sea is a strange and beautiful place." Studying the shores of the Atlantic coast from Maine to Florida, she observed a great deal, looking at the different ways the coastline and the histories found there created the different tidal ecosystems. Tidal coasts are liminal spaces, those places that are neither one thing or another. They hold a vast biodiversity not found either simply on land or in the depths of the sea. Creatures who survive on the edge are those that can tolerate the shifting ecosystems or ecotones, those places of transition between two biological communities of both land and sea. They are places of resilience and strength, and what is found there varies from place to place. On the rocky New England coast, there are those things that are strong, that cling for dear life to the brutal edge of a cold, rough, pounding sea. Carson wrote, "Where the casual observer would say there is no life, it lies deep in the sand, in burrows and tubes and passageways. It tunnels in solid rock and bores into peat and clay. It encrusts weeds or drifting spars or the hard chitinous shell of the lobster. It exists minutely as the film of bacteria that spreads over rock surface, as spheres of protozoa small as pinpricks, sparkling at the surface of the sea." The creatures who live on this coast are able to withstand brutal conditions, and so those that live there develop ways of living that enable life on the edge. Barnacles literally glue themselves to rocks and seawalls. At the other end of the spectrum of the coastlines is the Florida coast, mostly relatively still, calm water, and so coral has time to leave its crusty reefs without fear of the pounding sea. I know you're thinking hurricane season, but hurricanes don't hit the same place every year. Reefs often have years to develop in calm waters before being challenged by brutal storms and pounding surf. And when those storms arrive, coral reefs act as buffers, absorbing up to 97% of the wave's energy, acting as natural protection against the worst of the wave's destruction. The U.S. Geological Survey study determined that coral reefs protect more than 18,000 Americans, over 825 million in coastal infrastructure, and nearly 700 million in economic activity from coastal flooding every year. These coastal edges serve a very practical and specific purpose. I've spent enormous amounts of time along sea coasts. I spent all my summers growing up at the New Jersey shore, and then as an adult along the Southern California coast when I did those tide pool days. When you live near beaches, they become part of you. The beach, especially the shore, Jersey Shore, is my happy place. And if you live near them, you start to learn things. Not at first, but after long periods of watching, of seeing what's there, year after year, what changes and what stays the same. Those barnacles of the northern rocky coast teach us resilience, the resilience of hanging on, of committing to a place, and then having the wherewithal to stay year after year. And yet their spawn, free float, they have little choice but to let go, to move on, to drift a little as they find their place. Even in death, barnacles provide a home for other creatures that come after them, not just their spawn. The empty barnacle shell serves as a template for periwinkles and other small species. Anemones find refuge in their empty shells. The coral reefs of the Florida coast not only provide food and shelter for a plethora of species that live among them, they are considered the rainforest of the sea, but also provide protection to whatever lives along the coastline, including humans. Wrote Rachel Carson 70 years ago, "For it is clear that in the sea nothing lives unto itself. The very water is altered in its chemical nature and its capacity for influencing life processes by the fact that certain forms have lived within it and have passed on new substances capable of inducing far-reaching effect. So the present is linked with the past and the future, and each living thing with all that surrounds it." As we humans often forget the myriad of ways in which we are connected to all that is around us. We forget, like in the sea, nothing lives, including us, unto ourselves. We forget how we depend on other species and the ecosystems in which we live. That if we damage those things that live around and among us, there is a good chance we will diminish our own ability to survive. Like barnacles, it is important to commit to a place and understand your role in it. Many of us live very transient lives, and sometimes that's necessary. But wherever we go, it is important to understand the places where we live, to care about their ecosystems and what grows and thrives there. As we settle there, we affect what happens there. So we begin to feel, hopefully, protective of our places. Like the barnacles, even after death, we can nurture what comes after us by creating places where others would like to live. We can heal and nurture, or we can destroy. That is up to us. Like the coral, we can build up places that provide home and shelter and food for all those around. We can build up year after year resources and healthy environments where all can survive and thrive amidst the diversity that begins to grow and develop there because we have created a nurturing space for it to happen. As we build our resources, we can become a bulwark against the forces that seek to destroy us, who would break down rather than build up. We can absorb their forces and render them slightly less destructive. I was down the shore again this past week, but this year I couldn't enjoy it that much. The first morning there, I started to feel bad, and it turns out I had COVID. So I was sent to my bedroom in our beach house to isolate for the week. The week was also not perfect week for the rest of the group. Hurricane Debbie was coming up the coast and so brought cold, rough water at the beach and several days of rain. But on that first morning there, before I realized I was sick, I got up early so I could see the sunrise over the ocean. It was beautiful, not yet being roiled by the storm, but the clouds from the storm were already gathering. I thought the sunrise would not be that great, but the sunrise at the beach is always great, no matter what. My sister Trish and I decided to write haiku when we got back to the house. I wrote, "Sitting on the beach, clouds on the horizon, a splash of ruby light." I could not troll the edges of the sea this year. I could troll my own edges, edges of introspection and rest, that place in between that only illness can elicit. Patience through change, patience through having to stay still, of wondering whether this too shall pass. The edges teach us. Sometimes change takes millennia as shorelines break down and get built up again, as the creatures who live there survive or move on, that the edges of the sea build a foundation for all that come after, that all is connected in its depths, collaborating, connecting, and making space. Amen, and blessed be.
Our closing hymn is number 351, A Long, Long Way, the Sea Winds Blow. Please rise in body or spirit and sing with us.
Across the sea, waves through.
Our benediction this morning is from Anne Morrow Lindbergh's Gift from the Sea. One never knows what chance treasures these easy, unconscious rollers may toss up on the smooth white sand of the unconscious mind. They must not be sought for. No, no, dredging the sea bottom here, that would defeat one's purpose. The sea does not reward those who are too anxious, too greedy, or too impatient. Patience, patience, patience is what the sea teaches.
We extinguish this flame when I get over to reach it, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Before we sing our prelude, I would like to take a moment to personally thank my dear friends in the Bella Voce group for taking their time this morning to come all the way out to Reston to sing for us. And I would like to also say that through the changing seas and sands of time, this group is a testament to friendship and the power of music to bring people together. And I want to thank them for that connection and collaboration for the last 10 years.
Ooh.